Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. Today is the 4th of March, 2016. We got a little short show for you here today. A few things have trickled in from the end of February, as well as round 2 really kicking the kits out the beginning of March here. We got 3 of the 4 March kits that we're expecting from round 2 already out this weekend. For those of you who have upcoming shows to attend, like I do, there's some things to be looking forward to on the new kit vendor shelves. Of course, as well as your local hobby shop and things like that. There really isn't much in the way of anything new as far as announcements go, although Aoshima did release their April kit list here, their spot runs. There's nothing new on here other than, like I said, these are just reissues. So they're going to be rerunning the Lamborghini Aventador 50th Anniversario, the Laurel Medalist, Nissan Laurel Medalist Club S. This is very much like the Fujimi kit that just came out here last month. However, theirs has an engine in it and is also it has a different set of wheels with it than the factory wheels that come with the Fujimi kit. Remember, the Fujimi kit comes with actually 2 sets of wheels and tires, a factory set, and the Longchamps, the one that Aoshima does, I think it's the Club S is technically like the sporty model, so technically, not technically, there's a different set of wheels with it. They're also going to be reissuing their Nissan Skyline GTS-M, that's the HCR32, that's the 4-door R32 Skyline. That also does come with an engine. Both those guys, remember, those are engine inserts. They're like the top of the engine themselves. There's no bottom. The chassis on these are actually, both of them are pretty shaky as far as the chassis itself. However, obviously the kits themselves not really designed to be displayed from the with the roof down. Both those kits you also have to cut the hood out. Although I believe the Laurel Medalist, and I know the Skyline does have the Skyline, have clear hoods that you can use as replacements. Now, of course, you have to paint the hoods if you don't want to have them be clear, but at least you're not really so dependent on cutting the hood out perfectly. You can, if you're not the best panel cutter outer on the face of the planet, there is an entirely separate hood that they include. Like I said, it's on the clear tree, so you have to prime it before you paint it, or else you screw the part all up. But at least it's there so that so long as you get the opening the right width and don't make it too wide, the hood will fit, and you're not trying to cut the hood out and make the cut out hood fit back on again. Also going to reissue the S30 Fairlady Custom. This is, of course, the really old Fairlady kit that's on like a motorized chassis that they did some updating to in 2012 to sort of make this custom wide fender flared kit. This has got to be something like the 4th or 5th time they've reissued this kit since we've been doing the show, and we haven't been doing the show for an entire 2 years yet. It's right around 1.5 years right now. And this is, like I said, at least the 4th or 5th time. So this is a really, really, really popular kit in Japan. I don't know how popular it is here in the United States. I'm not sure I know anybody who actually has one. I think maybe John might have built one in the past with one of my friends, but I don't know if he actually did or not. They're going to be reissuing the Celica 2000 GT liftback. That, of course, is an old Best Car Vintage kit. However, if you want a early 1970s Toyota Celica liftback rather than the GT, the hatch, the coupe, if you will, it's coupe, the best way I think of describing it. I had to look at a picture of it. They want the liftback, the hatchback version. This is the only game in town. I don't know how well this would actually transfer over to the Hasegawa kits, because Hasegawa kits have a real tendency to not so much scale out the 1/25th scale, but they sort of seem to run just a hair smaller than anybody else's kits do. They're going to be also reissuing the Toyota Racing Development Toyota Truno E86 N2. That's the one with the big fender flares and all the ground effects. That kit does not come with an engine. They're going to be reissuing the Toyota Truno AE86 Initial D Volume 1 comic book, what they call the comic version, because it's from the original comic book series. That kit does come with an engine insert. And then they're going to be reissuing 4 of the Liberty Walk kits, what they call the Japan 4-door Skyline. That is the first, the original Liberty Walk kit. Also going to be reissuing the Hakasuka Works 2-door. That's kit number 4. The Ken and Mary Works 2-door. That is 2014 version. That's kit number 6. That's that powder blue, light blue car. It's a really cool car in real life. It is a real car. It's not something that they just sort of made up at Aoshima. However, the way that the kit goes and the way the car goes really separates once you get away from the outside. Now, of course, we've talked about before, the Liberty Walk kits are all about the external appearance because of the fact they're all on old motorized chassis. However, the interior of the real car is pretty cool too, and the interior of the kit does not mirror it pretty much at all in any way. But the outside looks just like the real thing. And then the last one is going to be what they call the Shakaten Kyoji's Choice. That is the 1960s four-door Nissan Skyline that looks like that they had painted up like a race car, and that was just issued back in November. So that's a reissue of a fairly new kit, so to speak. And that's it as far as kit announcement goes. It's too early to get Fujimi's or to know if we're going to get anything up to me or anything else like that. And of course, Hasegawa's, they've already did their stuff a couple weeks ago. So that leaves us with kit issues, stuff that came out this week. There were, like I said, 3 kits out of round 2, and then some stuff out of Fujimi for the end of the month. And then I've got actually 4 wheel sets from Aoshima that are out early in April as well. So let's go straight over to the domestic side of things. There were 2 MPC kits and 2 AMT kits coming out, so only one of the MPC kits is out so far, and that is the 1970 Pontiac Bonneville. This box art's sort of a little misleading in the sense that it shows the pickup truck version. Now, you can build the pickup truck or the what they call the open Sportster out of it. However, all the parts and the original and the bodies and everything here is available to do the just factory stock convertible. This looks like it only comes in that sort of El Camino style, but it really comes as the convertible, and then you have to do all the conversion work to make it into a pickup truck. It has pad printed white walls. Of course, this vintage box art here that mimics the original MPC box art. Then, of course, like I said, it has all the custom parts and all the Sportster pickup parts that the kit had back in the day. On the AMT side of things, you're going to get the George Barris Surf Woody that you can build one of 3 ways. The stock, I like the fact that they're calling it stock. The Surf Woody, stock, or a street rod, or the quote-unquote ghoulish surf hearse. Again, with pad printed tires, again with the vintage box art. If you go look for this kit on eBay right now, you'll see a few people selling this kit for about $70 with original vintage ones, and the box art pretty much is identical to this reissue. That this is the new box art you're looking at here. And then, of course, you get that 12-page booklet that covers building the real, actual 1-1 car, which should have some good reference photos and whatnot to build this kit. And then also a reissue of the 1967 Impala SS. This is a 1990s AMT Ertl tooling. It is not the original 67 annual tooling. So for people who have gotten burned recently by all of the cars being in this weird vintage box art, which I like the box art. Don't get me wrong. I think this is the best box art the 67 Impala has ever had. And it's probably one of the better kits that AMT Ertl ever did as well, in my humble opinion. But, it also is somewhat confusing to people who return to the hobby, who haven't been around for a while and don't realize what AMT and Round 2 is all about at this point. And, of course, younger people really, that would be too young to have ever picked up this kit new. I mean, the 1970 Pontiac, it's 7 years older than I am, and, it's something that I never had originally. The 67 Impala, of course, the original one is, 10 years older than I am. But this kit itself came out when I was a teenager, so I know how good a kit this is because I built it at least once, and I have another one in the stash here someplace because my teenage daughter wants me to build the Supernatural car, which of course is a 4-door, but she's wanted to just start taking it as a 2-door, which is good with me. You get pad printed tires here and expanded decals. Assume the head printed tires are going to be something. Obviously, they're not white walls, so they're going to be maybe. They didn't say what tires. So if I don't know, they're going to be Firestones or Goodyears or what you're going to get with it exactly. However, this is, like I said, 90s box art, 100-plus pieces, so it's, or 90s box art, 90s kit, 100-plus pieces, so no old promo chassis, no metal axles or anything goofy like that in this one. And then that takes us overseas to Fujimi. They have 3 kits from the end of March. This is the 2015 Super GT Good Smile Racing Hatsune Miku SLS AMG GT3 kit. They've chosen the landscape instead of the portrait as far as the box art goes here, obviously. This represents the final round of the Super GT season, which the Good Smile Racing team actually won that race. So they went out on a high note. They didn't really finish well in the points, about 11th overall. However, they did win their division of Super GT, because Super GTs broke down into two different classes. One is, right now dominated by Lexus, Acura, and the R35 GTR, and then the I think it's called GT500, which is sort of GT3 everywhere else in the world, is a bunch of stuff, BMWs, Mercedes, and all the normal suspects. But Good Smile switched to the SLS for 2015. Didn't really have a terrific amount of success with it, but did win the last race of the year. And then the last two of the the February 1/20th scale F1 kits are in. This is the Ferrari 126 C2. This is a full detail kit. I believe it's 48 parts or something along those lines. I'm not the guy to tell you about these kits as far as what they have, what they don't have, how accurate they are, or anything else. However, I know that there are some of you guys out there who do like the F1 car, so we're just including them. And the other one here is the Team Lotus Renault 97T. Again, this is another full detail kit. It's another 150 some odd part kit that appears to be sort of a John Player special kind of a livery here as far as the gold stripes on a black car. If this is originally a John Player special type of kit, I'm imagining you will have to outsource the decals, since John Player was tobacco, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see any GPS logos anywhere on the kit. And much like the, I'll try to see what I have. I am on the right page. Just like the Williams FW14B that didn't have the camel logos. Any of these old F1 cars that are being reissued, they are not going to include the evil tobacco or alcohol sponsorship. So always keep that in mind. If you're going after these kits, you will have to, more than likely through Taboo Design, let's see, Museum Collection is another decal company that does the shall we say off-color decals for these kits. I've not seen anything pop up for this kit as far as reissues of decals, so perhaps they're not required. So I don't know enough about this car, and I didn't look up pictures of the real thing to see what the whole sponsorship was. However, it looks pretty blank on this box art. There's like nothing on the winglets, there's nothing on the rear wing, there's nothing on the sides of the car, just like an Olympus camera thing, and then the ALF logo down there in the front there. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know if I see decals coming up for it. And then last but not least are the 4 16-inch wheel sets for the Truno/Levin kits. These were all at one point in time or another came in one or more of the A86 Truno or 86 Levin kits that came out that Aoshima has done over the years. These are the Watanabe 8 spokes. These come in the initial D series kits. This is the Volk Racing TE37 Gravel. I want to say these come in the the Toyota Racing Development cars we were just talking about here a couple seconds ago, that Truno that they're reissuing in April. This, of course, the Suzuka Brain Longchamp XR4s. There is a custom, or not custom, but sort of a tuner custom version of, I believe, the Levin that came with these. And then, last but not least, are the Buddy Club P1 Racing rims. I always enjoy this picture because it has a 5-lug wheel, and the Levin and Trunos are 4 lugs. The real wheels inside the box are 4 lug because these came in the 1983 Toyota Levin kit that I have, so I know that they really do not have 5 lugs on a 4-lug car. They really are 4 lugs. Somebody in the graphics department, we talked about this when these wheels were reissued last year, because this is the second go of these kits in the last 9 or 10 months, that they have this graphic wrong, and they apparently still have not fixed it as of yet. So, be that as it may, is what it is. At least the real kit things, the real parts in the box have the right number of lugs. Who cares what the picture is, right? And that about covers it, guys. We look forward to just a plethora of kits coming out in March. Of course, a lot of good-looking stuff as far as stuff I'm excited about. Of course, the Bell Kits, Rally Kits, those docked in Spain, I want to say Thursday. So those are now on their truck on their way to Belgium and will be distributed from there. People in Europe, you guys will get them, of course, a little bit before those of us who ordered them through Japan, because they've got to get distributed through Bell Kits back to Aoshima and then out to Hobbylink Japan and all the rest of the vendors. That new little Honda N360 is going to be out of Hasegawa this month. Of course, some Mobius kits, some Revell kits. There should be some interesting stuff from Aoshima should those kits actually come out on time. Many spending. Of course, the Martini Alfa Romeo, they got that's coming out this month. Lots of stuff. You watched the March compilation video. There's lots of stuff to look forward to here. And then I don't know if it'll be this coming week necessarily, but certainly by next week we'll of course have Fujimi's April announcements, and we'll find out whether or not we can order one of those for our FXXKs or not, because those should be coming up for pre-order any day now, and we'll see what the future holds, so to speak. To me, Revell's first quarter things at the end of this month, their first quarter flyer will be completely fulfilled, and we'll start working on the second quarter flyer in April, and that means it shouldn't be too much longer before we get a third quarter flyer. Yay! New kit announcements. It's what we thrive on around here. Need information. Oh, it's a high. I make you guys buy stuff, but I'm sitting over here going, I need to tell them about new stuff, new kit announcements. Yeah, okay. So now your weekend's been weird enough. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, guys, we'll see you on the other side.